Hello and welcome to the Dot Report. In this month's issue, we'll be discussing a range of headlines in the cybersecurity space, starting with the fake Kling ads pushing rat malware to millions of Facebook users. Then we'll discuss how Russian hackers are targeting Ukraine supporters, the critical vulnerability discovered in Windows Server 2025, and lastly, the cyber incident that disrupted communications across the Midwest. New AI tools always create a buzz, and one threat actor group is using this to spread malware on social media. Specifically, a phishing campaign is exploiting the excitement around Kling AI, a viral video generation platform spreading malware through fake Facebook ads. Cybersecurity researchers say these ads lead to near identical clones of Kling's site, but instead of granting access to video tools, they trick users into downloading malware. Specifically, a remote access Trojan known as pure HVNC. This enables attackers to take control of the victim's device and allows them to go unnoticed as they operate in the background without alerting the user. Once inside, the malware scans for browser-saved passwords, cryptocurrency wallets, and even banking credentials. It's a full-on data heist. And as it goes on social media, the malware spread like wildfire. Over 22 million interactions have been logged, with hotspots in the US, Indiana, and the Philippines. While one no-threat actor group has claimed responsibility for the attack, distributing stealer malware through Facebook is a popular tactic employed by Vietnamese threat actors. So if you're experimenting with new AI platforms, avoid ads altogether. Instead, navigate directly to verified websites, double-check URLs, and stay alert. Because malware today isn't just hidden in sketchy corners of the internet, it's riding the wave of the next big invention. A newly released NSA report is pulling back the curtain on an expansive Russian cyber campaign. One that's not aiming to disrupt, but to watch, map, and quietly extract information. At the center of it all is Russia's GRU, the military intelligence agency long linked to cyber operations. According to the NSA, attackers have been quietly targeting Western logistics and tech firms involved in shipping aid to Ukraine. These intrusions are about visibility, specifically monitoring the amount and frequency of aid deliveries. Spear phishing was the tactic used as an entry point, which takes emails that are crafted to look legitimate and often tailored to the industry or the target's role, intended to dupe the victim. But what's more troubling is how the attackers are working around hardened defenses by exploiting softer targets. Small office and home networks used by remote employees are often targeted. Once inside this network, the attacker is able to use that position as a foothold to tunnel deeper and gain access to more sensitive corporate environments. The true target beneath it all, though, seems to be surveillance cameras. The attack targeted more than 10,000 internet-connected cameras near Ukraine's borders and key transport routes. The NSA calls the campaign ongoing and warns that the organizations being targeted likely don't even realize they're a part of the map. This developing story once again reveals the growing role of cybersecurity in the world of international politics. This next story tells the tale of a supposed-to-be security feature becoming a vulnerability. The issue centers on something called Delegated Managed Service Accounts, or DMSAs, a feature designed to streamline account management for services and apps in enterprise environments. And in theory, it helps system administrators assign permissions more efficiently without needing full-blown domain admin rights. But in practice, researchers have found a way to abuse that very trust mechanism. It was discovered that if an attacker has permission to create or write to a DMSA, they can weaponize it. The exploit involves creating what looks like a legitimate account migration, something that happens when organizations restructure their Active Directory environments. But the attacker uses this process to sidestep restrictions and effectively grant themselves elevated privileges. What makes this especially risky is how quiet it is. This isn't someone brute forcing credentials or dropping malware, it's a privilege escalation wrapped in what looks like a routine admin activity. In the right hands, it could give an attacker domain-level access without ever needing to crack a password. Microsoft has acknowledged the flaw and a patch is reportedly underway, but there's a larger issue here: the expanding complexity of Active Directory. Features meant to simplify identity management often introduce edge cases that defenders, and even Microsoft, may not fully anticipate. For now, the advice is simple. restrict who can create DMSAs, audit for unusual delegation patterns, and watch for any sudden changes in account privileges. You'll also want to be on the lookout for the patch when it is available. It began quietly on the evening of May 14th. Customers of Telecomm, a regional wireless provider serving Wisconsin and Michigan's Upper Peninsula, noticed they couldn't make calls. And by the next morning, text messaging was down too. For days, the company referred to the issue as a technical outage, but the disruption proved to be much more than that. On May 20th, Telecomm CEO addressed customers directly in a video message confirming that the company had indeed experienced a cyber attack. The incident had specifically targeted the voice and SMS systems, leaving data services unaffected. The attack did disrupt communication for thousands across the region though, pushing Telecomm to activate its incident response protocols by notifying the FBI and Wisconsin state authorities, while also engaging third-party cybersecurity experts to assess and contain the breach. SMS texting was eventually restored, and Telecomm's customers could once again make and receive voice calls. However, a full service restoration remains a work in progress as the company continues to provide updates, assuring customers that the teams are working around the clock to bring systems safely back online. As of now, no group has claimed responsibility for the attack, and the specific methods used remain undisclosed. However, this incident does serve as a stark reminder that it's not uncommon for a cyber attack to affect everyday individuals, especially when so many of us view our smartphones as our lifeline to the world. That's it for this month, so thanks for watching. I'm Andrew Mancini with Security, and this has been the Dot Report. Browse safe out there, and we'll see you next month.